gosh. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, start now? Okay. Hey, how's it going? Oh my god, did you see that? Hey, how's it going? What was that? Plus, who's gonna even respond to that? Hey, how's it going? Because, the person watching this is gonna be like, you know what, Ale? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Great, by the way. No, they're not gonna see that. Plus, I'm only gonna get 2 people to watch this. 2 people. My mom and Miss Mariana. You know what they're gonna say? First of all, my mom's gonna be like, Ale, it's great. You're gonna get great on this project. Even though in her head she's thinking, oh my god, this is my son. Who did we raise? And then you know what Miss Mariana's saying? You know what she's saying? You know what? Not even saying. She's writing down right now. Alessandro Strazzeri. You know she's giving me? A nice 50% right now, just because of this intro. She doesn't even have to watch the rest of the video. She already knows, oh, this kid, what is he doing? This intro, terrible, 50%. There goes my drama mark. It can only go up from here. Are you kidding me? It's not gonna go up. She stopped the video. She's not even watching it right now. Oh, I better find an intro. What? I'm not using this. Are you crazy? Why would I use this intro? It's funny. It's not funny. It's just me rambling on and complaining to you about how bad this thing is. Yeah, you're right. Guess I can't find a better intro. And welcome everyone to vlog number 1. Okay, I haven't been doing this for this long, but anyways, today I'm going to tell you a bit about my experience walking around Niagara on the Lake and of course watching A Christmas Carol. But you might be wondering, Alec, what's with the hair? What's with the new shirt? Well, I wanted to look good on camera. So terrible! Shut up, Jim! Anyways, let's start off this vlog by showing you what went down on the bus. Now, here's everyone sitting down on the bus, all ready to go to Niagara on the Lake. Everyone's happy, but wait, what's that in the corner? Oh, it's Sebastian Klein's big head. Oh my god, I took this picture and could not believe how big that man's head was. But the bus ride was mostly filled with us listening to some music, cracking some jokes. Most of those jokes were about how Sebastian's not gonna get into a good university. Just kidding, I'm just kidding. I know Sebastian will get into a university. Now, when we arrived at Niagara on the Lake, Miss Mariana talked to us about the usual. Where to meet, what places we should go to, and not getting into trouble. The usual. Myself, Tate, Hannah, Juliana, Veronica, Marlene, both Sebastians and Solomon, well, we decided to go to Sunset Grill. I've only had Sunset Grill once before, but it was pretty good, so I was happy to go again with them. When we walked into Sunset Grill, I could tell every single adult in that entire restaurant was like, crap. Teenagers. They thought we're gonna be obnoxious, loud, gonna throw food around. But we didn't do any of those things. Okay, maybe we did one of those things. Okay, miss, it was only just gum. It was just gum. That's all. It was in a Kleenex. It wasn't sticky or anything. I threw it at Sebastian. But he threw it out, so no harm done there. Don't fail me. But I decided to get a nice club sandwich, as you can see here. But look at that club sandwich. The chicken, the tomato, the bacon. But don't forget about the lettuce. And look at that mayo in the corner. Oh my goodness, the perfect combination in a sandwich. And there's not only one sandwich. Not 2, not 3, but 4. That is what I call a meal. As you can tell, I really like that club sandwich. And who could blame me? It was really good. But after we finished eating, we had the bright idea to meet the chef. As you could see, that those are two of me. Yes, that is not Photoshop. That is actually two of me hugging the chef that made that, oh my god, that beautiful club sandwich. Very nice guy. Can't believe I got a picture with not only one of him, but two of me. Just incredible. Yes, obviously, of course, that's not a picture of two of me and one of him. But I couldn't get a picture with him because Sebastian and the other Sebastian both met him after I left the restaurant with the rest of the group. Really mad about that one. Really wanted to meet the chef because that club sandwich. Oh my god. Now, after Sunset Grill, you guys might be thinking, Alec, what'd you do? There's so many shops, which there are all a lot of shops. There's like, I couldn't finish counting all of them. There were so many. I finished at 2 because I got lazy and I didn't really want to count all the shops. But yeah, anyways, after that, we really didn't do much. I mean, we went into that ice cream shop. Didn't get any ice cream because, you know, it was like -10 out. I'm not going to be licking ice cream while it's going to get frozen. Yeah, we went to that ice cream shop and then we went to the candy store. You know, I didn't get any candy because I got to be healthy. I only got like 2 packs of jelly beans, caramel bar, root beer, this exotic root beer from the States, and 2 other things. Okay, it was a lot, but I mean, it was good candy. I got a lot of candy, but in fairness, it was for my sister.
No, it wasn't.
Shut up, Jim. Yes, it was for my sister, okay? It was for my sister. So after the candy shop and all that walking around, we ended up going to the theater. We got our tickets. And just to say, before I entered the theater, on the bus ride, I thought that I was probably going to be sitting down with about 20 other people. But I didn't think it was going to be a big theater because the last Christmas Carol I did watch in my elementary school, it was a very, very tiny room. It was probably about the size of my bedroom, and that's not that big. But this theater, oh my, it was not, of course it's not an absolutely massive theater, but compared to what I was thinking, it was way bigger than I thought. Especially that we were on the balcony, that it was even a balcony there. Finally, after we all settled down, lights went dim, the play started. So at the beginning of the play, it wasn't a typical beginning of the play because the actors and actresses both talked to the audience, which I guess in some plays not unusual, but for me it is. So they're talking to us, and then they started to break out in song, obviously singing classic songs. I mean, they sang Deck the Halls, Jingle Bells as well. And you know what? This opening got the audience involved because really before the opening, a lot of my friends were still talking, chatting. But after that, dead silence, and you know what? Some of them were actually singing. I heard Sebastian Klein singing. Never want to hear that again. Oh my god, that was terrible. After the opening, I thought it really transitioned well into the actual play because as the carolers were singing, someone off stage, I'm pretty sure it was screaming, "Stop, stop!" And I actually thought it was an audience member, and I was like, "Oh, shoot, what happened?" But it was one of the actors. He came on, and then he proceeded to tell all the carolers to get out because Ebenezer Scrooge was coming in. Obviously, he's a Scrooge, so he wouldn't like anything happy. So they all get off stage, and then it transitions into Scrooge going into his office, telling his assistant that he needs to work on Christmas Day. And it sort of sets the stage, obviously, for who Scrooge is. And in that opening scene, I thought Scrooge was played extremely well. Scrooge's character was really overshadowed in that opening scene because of the way 2 actors depicted snow. They grabbed something to look like snow, and then they threw that up to the amusement of the audience. It was pretty creative, and I'll show you it right now.
Ale, you're gonna clean that up, right?
Yeah, I'll get that later, Ma. But that was cold. I think I put a bit too much snow. A little bit too much. Yeah, and another part of that opening scene that also caught my eye was the way they used the actors as props. And I guess you could explain it, but I'd like to show you a bit better. Chad, what are you doing? I'm gonna be a table, not a chair.
But it's more fun crushing you.
Okay, they didn't use the actors as chairs and sit on them, but they use them as tables. So after the scene in his office, they go to his house. I'm not gonna summarize the play for you guys, but they go to his house. He talks to his maid. Still typical Scrooge, tells his maid she's gotta come in exact same time on Christmas Day, very early. And then everything seems normal. He's just having his supper. But then in the background you hear clinking of chains, and obviously this is his former business associate, Jacob Marley. And I thought for the ghost, they would have probably brought in someone with a little tiny costume, just a ghost, nothing that big, because after all, this is just a live action play. They don't have the big budget of a blockbuster film or special effects. But oh my god, this was even better than special effects. Well, you could even call this special effects. But the way they did it, they made this ghost 20 feet tall. It towered above Ebenezer Scrooge, and it was genuinely scary. It was scarier than anything you'd see in the box office. To me anyways, it was that good. Now onto the past and present ghosts. They're really, the actors and actress did a great job playing them. But I mean, it really didn't resonate with me. They weren't memorable characters. It was okay. And one thing I did find creative with the past ghost was that how they use his curtains or drapes on his bed to go flashbacks into his past life. That was very creative, I thought. And another thing that wasn't a positive, probably the only negative of this play, I gotta say, was when the present ghost, I guess, flew them in to his assistant's house. We finally met Tiny Tim, and again, Tiny Tim had a very minimal role in this play, which I was disappointed in. Really, I wanted to see a bit more of him because he was probably one of my favorite characters in the Christmas Carol. But yeah, they really didn't show a lot of Tiny Tim. But when they did go into Tiny Tim, it wasn't even a real child. It was a puppet. And talking to my other friends, in my opinion, that was pretty creepy, I gotta say. I didn't really like the way they used the puppets. I guess you could say it was creative. But I just gotta say, it wasn't the right move, in my opinion anyways. Other people may have different opinions. You're open to your own opinion, but in my opinion, the puppets were creepy. They just didn't mesh well in the story. It was really just, it stuck out like a sore thumb, really, to me. And that's one thing, if I could tell the director or the people involved with this play, just one thing is to get rid of the puppets. And after the future ghost leaves, I thought, in my opinion, it was a bit of a rushed ending, mostly because it just goes right into Christmas Day, and then quickly he tells his maid, yes, take the day off, then tells his assistant's kid to go buy themselves a turkey for Christmas dinner, and then he goes to his nephew's house for Christmas dinner. And regarding the nephew's house, in past renditions I've seen in movies or the last play I saw for the Christmas Carol, usually Ebenezer Scrooge goes to not his nephew's house for dinner, but instead Tiny Tim's house, his assistant's house, and he gets along with the kids. He talks to the family, redeems himself for what he's done in the past, and I really think that's a better ending for the character development for Scrooge anyways, because from the beginning of the play, by telling his assistants, yes, you gotta come in for Christmas Day, to the end of the play where he's donating, he's giving his assistant money and helping out the kids, playing with the kids. I think that's just a better ending than what it was in this play, because this play, he knocks on his nephew's door, goes in, that's it. We don't see any of them except for the next morning. And the next morning was, I thought, a great second ending to the play, because I've never seen this before, at least I haven't, or I can't remember. But his assistant comes in and tries to be as quiet as possible, not to draw attention to himself because he's late. Scrooge obviously notices him. He goes over, starts yelling at him, telling him how he's late. The assistant says, sorry, Mr. Scrooge. But in a turn of events, Scrooge actually gives him a raise, which I think the audience could have seen coming because of his development in the play. But the assistant obviously doesn't see it coming. And then what I thought was very clever, especially for this play, is that usually the assistant makes himself into a table, or he makes himself into a door. He opens the door himself, and he acts as a door himself. So instead of the assistant being the door, Scrooge lets the assistant go out early, gives him the day off. And instead of the assistant getting the door, Scrooge makes himself the door and opens the door and lets the assistant out. And I thought that was very clever and a great ending for the play. Now I'd like to say some things I really enjoyed about the play that I didn't get the chance to while I was telling you about the play. But one thing that I absolutely adored about this play is the way they used the stage. And what they did is that they had this, I don't know what to call it, but a backdrop, just like an advent calendar. So they had a big wall, and throughout the wall it was decorated with these boxes that did open, and the boxes were used for many things, like putting a coat up or a window. It was just used impeccably, and the creativity of it was nothing I've ever seen before. And I just wanted to commend them for that, and I wanted to point that out because of how just creative it was, and the fact that it opened up and it revealed even more of a stage. That was just amazing. Now, at the intermission, I decided I was hungry. So, like any normal person would do, I went down and I decided to get some food. So, when I got to the counter, I looked at the prices, and you know what I saw? For the popcorn that I wanted, it was $5. Who does that, Jimmy? $5? They're robbing me. They're robbing me is what they're doing. I demand my $5 back. I'm just saying, it was a crime. I'm sorry, I had to get that one out, because that's almost as bad as us having to pay $60 for a pair of pants. But that's a whole nother story. Since I don't want to end this thing on a bad note, I'm going to tell you my final review out of 10 I'll give the play. Now, after careful examination and thinking about every single part of the play, the costumes, the props, the actors, the actresses, and the price of the popcorn, I decided to give A Christmas Carol a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the play, and really, to me, it deserves a 9.5 out of 10. That's really how good it is. And mostly I gave that rating because it just blew my mind how good it was. It completely destroyed my expectations, and to that, they totally deserve that 9.5 out of 10 rating. I just want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch this video, and just please drop a like, give me a 95%, and subscribe please.
Ride, come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you.